Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul, and for today's video, I've got a very special one planned because today we've got a beautiful brand new package to just arrive from the team over at JW Anderson and Uniqlo. Now, when it comes to timeless silhouettes and uncompromising value, Uniqlo has to be at the top of the echelon of bringing these garments to the common consumer. Time and time again, each and every release has been pretty flippin' amazing through duration of 2025, and every single one of them has been featured here on the channel. If you're interested in seeing any of those aforementioned videos, go ahead and check the links down below, or simply head over to my main page and check those out. And this 2025 fall winter collection is no different, because in this package, we're getting some pieces we've seen in the past that we formerly loved and sold out instantly, and some brand new garments to keep you dialed in for the fall months. Today, we're gonna be unboxing everything that I picked up from the collection. We're gonna be reviewing them, and of course, you will see them on the body. Additionally, whatever I wear with these Uniqlo pieces, I will have them linked down below for your viewing pleasure, which actually does include the watch I'll be wearing throughout the duration of this video from my brand Aura Watch. This has been a daily as of late, as well as the denim from my brand LWH Clothing. You will see them here today. And if you guys did miss out on the painter denim that we released previously, we just restocked them, so be sure to check those links out down below as well. And between you and me, you can actually use the code LWH on Aura Watch's website. That'll save you a nice chunk off the watch. That's just for the community. And the code Paul20 actually does work now on all LWH garments. And now, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and crack right into this box. Now, as I've already kind of alluded to, the whole collection seems to be very intentionally catered to the fall months, with nice transitional fabrics that really are conducive to the cooler months that are on the way, which definitely is the case in point here with the corduroy work pants. Priced at $49.90, this is definitely a very compelling offering for a few reasons. The first one being that the corduroy that they used is actually fantastic quality. You can tell the cotton was brushed and treated with intention, providing for you just insane softness and insulation. That's one thing I love about corduroy for these fall months. You're gonna get a nice level of warmth, almost giving you the comfort and softness of sweatpants with the look of a pair of trousers, and I personally just love that. Also, these pants do fit fantastically. They do feature a relaxed cut all the way throughout, finishing nicely down to the ankle opening. You also have some very nice details that include the stitching that comes out front, almost reminiscent of a pair of work or fatigue pants. And around back, you have some nice subtle slit pockets that are deep enough for all your wallets, your phone, whatever you want to put back there. Something that I did want to talk about, though, is the elasticized waistband. Now, I'm a true size of a size 30 in the waist area. A size small constitutes anywhere from a 28 to a 30, and I do find that these are workable, but are still a little bit snug. So if you do prefer a little bit more pliability in the waist area, consider sizing up if you're on the larger end of the sizing spectrum. The length on them is absolutely perfect. I think they are a 31.5. Go ahead and check out the site to make sure, but I love where they finish. I don't need to get them tailored. Just an overall very refined pair of corduroy pants. Finally, last thing I did want to say about these is that they are hyper versatile. That's what I love about corduroy pants. You have the option of just wearing them with a t-shirt, even a vintage tee, and they'll look really cool. But you can dress them up with like a sweater and go to a nice lunch. This next one is definitely a crowd pleaser. This is a brand new colorway of a garment that we got last year, and it is known as the souffle yarn gradient sweater. And this year's rendition, guys, might be the all-time best. I love how this blue gradient turned out. The detail is there, but it is pretty subtle overall. And just look at the light blue. It is just beautiful. It's elegant. You can dress this one up or dress it down. Just an overall beautiful take, just in terms of color. The yarn that it is comprised of is equally impressive. It is very, very soft, but it does have a blend of polyester, which is somewhat demonized, I understand that, but in some respects is absolutely necessary to mitigate that sensation of it being itchy. It'll keep you warm, and it has a nice level of elasticity. When you pull it apart, comes back to its structure. Very, very solid piece. Now, I did elect to go for a size medium, and it does produce for me a nice relaxed fit. One thing that I do wish for this piece, if I could just customize it a little bit, is that because I am on the shorter side, I have a shorter torso, it would have been nice to have this piece be a little bit more cropped. I'm not saying super cropped by any means, but just slightly cropped. Now, because it's trendy right now, but more so because for me, in my stature, it would be a little bit more complimentary, but a nice little fold will do. Like I said, there was a variation of this sweater that dropped last year, and I go a little bit more into detail, style it in different ways. So if you want more information on this piece, be sure to check last year's video out because it is identical apart from the color. So with every collaborative Uniqlo collection, there is always one standout piece or staple piece that seems to go viral. And this year, it is this one here, and it is known as the ribbed crew neck sweater. Now, as entailed in the name, it does have the rib knit detailing going all through the fabric. What's really cool is that you have a little bit more of a tighter knit up top that does have a bit of a transition as you head towards the bottom of the garment. Being comprised of acrylic, nylon, and 5% wool, you do have a good level of insulation. It's a very warm piece. The wool provides a little bit of itchiness that is mitigated yet again by that acrylic and nylon. It is very elastic. It feels very substantial as it relates to quality. And when you consider how it looks, feels, and fits, I can see why this one is very, very compelling. With that said, for me personally, this is strictly my opinion, I'm not a major fan of this piece. Now, admittedly, I could have sized incorrectly as I did go for a size small. And for some odd reason, I'm just not a huge fan of how it looks on me personally. And I did try them with a pair of trousers, kind of more of a refined look, and it just looked okay on me. And then I dressed it down with a pair of denim and some Margiela sneakers. And while I did like that look a little bit more, I just don't know if this garment is for me personally. Now, just because it doesn't look good on me particularly, I don't think you should dismiss this piece altogether because I've seen some people style this one and make it look awesome. So in this scenario, I don't think it's a sweater that's a problem. I do think that it is me. We've got another good one. This is the brushed oversized shirt priced at $59.90. It is comprised of a soft cotton fabric, which kind of resembles a bit of like a jersey material. I don't know if the camera's able to pick up kind of little fibers and stuff like that you can see, but it looks so sick in person. But even with that detail, remains extremely refined. You've got a button closure out front, and it does finish at just the neckline. And at the top there, you do have the loop and button closure in the event that you do want to button up all the way to the collar. It did provide for us some nice utility pockets out front for detail. And while this piece does look overall like a pretty standard button up, it really is all about the details, which is why I am such a big fan of this garment. Now, it was recommended for me to take a size medium on the website, but I did go for a size small because when it comes to outerwear pieces or even overshirts, if they're cut to fit naturally oversized, I tend to always size down because pieces like this tend to consume my torso. And so to kind of mitigate that effect, I do size down because it's still gonna provide for me a relaxed look. In this scenario, I can go ahead and pair that with a tighter fitting shirt like this one from Cause, and I'm not drowning in the fabrics, if that makes sense. But overall, a fantastic piece. It's very tastefully done, tastefully crafted. It looks very upscale, and at the price point, you can't go wrong. Now, fall is generally recognized by a few different attributes: the falling leaves, pumpkin spice lattes, and of course, the flannel. And here we have what could represent my favorite piece of the day, and it is known as the brushed cotton oversized shirt. Again, in the scenario, I did size down to a size small, and I'm so glad I did because, in my opinion, it fits really nice. But what makes this piece a standout for me personally is the shadow plaid that they went for. As somebody who works in manufacturing, I've seen a lot of plaid splotches, but this one to me is so fire. I really love the hue of cream that they went with for the base, and the faded black with the contrasting taupe just works excellently. I think this is a very good flannel. If you're in need of one, just pick this one up. You won't go wrong. It's so easy to style, to layer with, and it being from Uniqlo, it is going to be really nicely priced and will hold up over time. But yeah, when it comes to the details, not just the plaid, you do have the nice little JW Anderson embroidered hit there, button closure for the front, the pockets as well as here at the sleeves if you want to roll them up, all of which is pretty standard when it comes to flannels. But yeah, this one is a standout for me for the fact that it's just such a fire plaid print. Wear this one with a pair of sweatpants, wear it with some trousers, wear it with some denim. Just gonna be hyper versatile through the fall months. That's why this one is my favorite from today's haul. But we do have one more, which is going to be the biggest piece, and this is what is known as the Puff Tech utility jacket, priced at $129.90. This is going to be the most expensive piece of the bunch and pretty high of a price point by Uniqlo standards, but I assure you, you get so much from that $129 that it is well justified for. The exterior shell is comprised of a water repellent nylon, so in the event you're in the midst of precipitation, you will be good to go. You've got plenty of utility pockets out front, and here for the collar, it is made from a nice durable corduroy, and it'll help keep your neck just a little bit more insulated. It does feature a combination closure that is buttons as well as zippers, which does open up to reveal a nice plaid inner lining, kind of reminiscent of Burberry. That's what I thought when I initially saw this. But overall, I do think that is super complimentary to the outer shell that is in this tan colorway. Now, as for sizing, I did go for a size small, and I'm very glad I did because it does fit pretty oversized, perfect for layering. For me, in my wardrobe, this jacket will serve to be something that is hyper versatile, an item that you can dress up or dress down, layer, or just wear with a t-shirt. It just overall is a fantastic jacket comprised of fantastic materials, fits very, very good, and has very nice details all throughout, which does include custom JW Anderson hardware, all of which is super smooth, very high quality. At $129.90, this is a very, very hard jacket to beat in terms of value. So for that reason, I would highly recommend this one as well. And so that concludes my haul and review of the garments that I picked up from JW Anderson and Uniqlo. I'd be interested in hearing what you guys have to say in the comments below about my pickups. I know that wasn't every single garment, but I generally do just only pick up the things that just speak to me personally and I believe will serve my wardrobe well. And so with that, I do suggest checking out the website to see their entire catalog, which will be provided below alongside a link to my watch company or a watch, as well as my clothing brand, LWH Clothing, which did just see a restock of various sold out garments. And we do have a drop about to commence come Christmas time, and we got some good stuff there as well. With that said, I'd like to thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel and checking out today's video. It really is such a privilege of mine to get to serve you through making content as well as products. If you guys didn't notice, I'm not at the studio today. I'm here at my house because my firstborn son can come at any moment now, and I want to be close to my wife in the event that does transpire. So the setup isn't quite as crisp, but if you did enjoy today's video nonetheless, please be sure to go ahead and like today's video and subscribe to the channel with notification on. Who knows, maybe I'll do some more videos here at the house. Again, thank you so much for stopping by today's video. I will see you again in the next upload. Peace and be blessed.